Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. Apologies, we got a little bit of a late start tonight. A lot of market action, a lot of stuff going on. And the main thing I want to point out on the daily chart of the Qs is we've had my gosh, beautiful long squeeze to the upside. We've just been kind of grinding up to resistance at 109. We kind of hit that. Now, after our, and if we look at this on a 15-minute chart, you can see that we sold off a little bit into the close, but ultimately it held support, right? So the question is like, oh my gosh, is everything done? If we look at the NASDAQ futures overnight, you can see that we actually got through resistance. Now, we did lose a little bit of momentum here on that sell-off, but if we look at kind of my 39-minute chart as a favorite, we did get some sell programs that hit. We did get some minus 1,000 tick readings here, but then ultimately they kind of stopped and the markets just kind of ground back higher. Here's the thing. By nature, I'm a closet bear, but I don't want to fight the tape. So yes, I think we could sell off at any time, but having said that, the key is to look at the daily chart in the context of the weekly chart. So there's the weekly chart. Let's switch this to a daily chart. We don't have any squeezes. We're a little extended, but there's no selling. Okay, so let's look at the Qs. No squeezes on the weekly chart, but there is on the daily, and you can see that resistance level there. And then last but not least, let's look at the NDX. No squeezes on the weekly, but there is on the daily, and we've got, so bottom line, we've got a little bit more upside, not a lot, and there's no real danger signals here, okay? So the thing with this is how do you trade it? And I think the toughest trade here is to buy the indexes. It's like, wow, here we are after, this many days in a squeeze where we've gone from 2045 to 2113. Do we buy it right here? And the answer is, of course not. That's the sucker's play. So what do? You look for special situations. By special situations, I'm like talking about things like this where you've got a squeeze and price line, you've got earnings, you're consolidating, and it's like, wow, that is a gift from the trading gods. So what does that look like? How do you identify that? Well, you actually, from an intraday perspective, it's like, wow, okay, so we gapped up. Let's change this to a daily chart, and you've gapped up. Okay, great. And you've pulled back to the lows of that gap, and that's an amazing opportunity to establish bullish positions, but not sucker positions, meaning like, oh, let's buy some cheap out-of-the-money calls. Well, sometimes they'll work, but more oftentimes than not, they will erode. So we had this great move up, and if we take a look at this from the perspective of a trade, so that's INSY. This one, it was great. We took that out for a profit today. That was nice. So Priceline has been amazing. This is like a third set of trades we've done this year that they've all worked out pretty good. So we did the 1290 11 to the 1200 1190 put spread, books and profits there. The 1220 1250 call credit spread, which we bought at $8.55. We sold 90% of it at $20, and now we got some a little bit left at $23.05. Nice open trade there. The 1210 1170 put spread, that was a great trade. And then this is the one that we established today, the 1250 1240 put spread, based on what the dynamics we were seeing, and currently have those profits there. And really this comes together, there's a couple of different things that come together on this, is that when you see a specific market situation and you see a specific stock situation, what is the best strategy to imply on that situation? So that's what we've done with Priceline. And so, this is my live account that I set for the room. It's grown every week since January 1st. And so start off at 156,000, up 58,000. So that's 33, 34%, something like that. I show all these active trades in the room, and the idea with this is that, I mean, this happens to be Priceline, but there's a lot of different trades that are going on. There's not any one single trade that's been like a big winner. It's just like, hey, we got like, 2,000 here, made 4,000 here, lost 1,000 here. But the idea is that through all of this, we've got a up-sloping equity curve, okay? It's not like, oh, let's start off here, and then let's take a nosedive, and let's try to make our way back. It's deliberate and done in such a way as to create an continual uptrending equity curve. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately. It's like, all right, John, look, I've been following you with this new account that you set up. You're focused on like consistency and finding the right plays on the right chart during current market conditions, and also knowing when to hedge and all that kind of stuff. And how do you do that? So we are setting up a class, simpleoptions.com/mastery, which literally is an options trading mastery class. If you took the consistency class, if you took the debit spreads class, that's great. Those are good foundations for this graduate level class. Of course, I pour my heart and soul into these classes. So if you're a brand new trader or you've never done, these classes that I just talked about, that's fine. I will take you through the process step by step. You will also get homework on how to do this, okay? And essentially what I'm going to be doing, if there's the heart and soul of this class is, let's see, it's really this. When you're doing this stuff, you've got to know when to trade conservatively, i.e. normally, and when to maximize leverage and go for the kill, because that does happen a couple times a year, and that can make or break an extraordinary set of returns. Okay? I also love this one. I call it the highest probability trade setup on the planet. Even when it blows up in your face, you can turn it into a winner. Okay? But the goal with this is the right setup. Okay? So if you got the right setup, that's great, but you need to have the right option strategy for that setup, and that has to match the right sector and market conditions. Okay, that's a lot of scribble, but that's a long way of saying, like, okay, you've got a setup that you like. Guess what? That setup that you like, there's an option strategy that works best for it most of the time in this market condition. But if market conditions change or the sector rotations change, then it's not going to work anymore. So how do you identify that? So my goal is, it doesn't matter what the market conditions are. Okay? It's like, okay, is it confusing or not confusing? My main goal is that your equity curve and my equity curve continues to go higher, and that's possible if you know what you're looking at. All right? So that's what I want to talk about. That's what I'm passionate about. At the end of the day, I want people to be able to look at the markets and not be confused, okay, not wonder what to do. They should know exactly what they need to do next, and that's the goal of this options mastery class. If you're interested in learning all the theories, you can sign up for the Saturday class. It's only $497, and it's going to be for 6 hours of specific instruction on how to do this. If you're then interested, here's the thing. I think the way to learn this stuff is to see it done live. So there's this idea, and I heard this somewhere, and I can't remember where, but if you're going to learn to play golf, if you read 10 golf books and look at 10 PowerPoint presentations on how to play golf, and then you go to actually hit that tee, you're going to be horrible. But if you can sit there and practice hitting off the tee under the eyes of a coach or an instructor who's been where you have been before, okay, and knows where you want to go, it becomes a lot easier. And that's the way I look at it. So I've done this before. I'm a coach. And the only way to truly learn trading is to see it being done in a live environment by someone who knows what they're doing. That's me. I have no problem showing my live account, okay, and making decisions in front of 1,000 people or however many want to sign up for this, and showing you what I'm doing in my own account, okay? I don't need the benefit of hindsight. I don't need the perfect PowerPoint presentation that looks polished. I'm completely willing to show you, like, hey, there's a gap up, I'm doing this, or there's a gap down against my position. This is what I'm going to do to salvage it. This is what I'm going to do to save it, and that's what I want to show you. So if you're interested in that, that's the 997 class. Good news is that if you sign up for this, the 3 days of live trading, it includes this. If you're like, you know what, I'm just good with the instruction, cool, you just do the 497. So when are these dates there coming up? The Saturday class is March 7th. That's going to be coming up the week after next from 2 to 8 East Coast time. And if you're going to do the live trading, it's the 10th, 11th, 10th, 12th, and 13th. 13th is a Friday. We'll get to do some weekly options expiration, which will be fun. All right. Hope it helps. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you at the next update.